Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be doing this Marvel Universe crochet kit from Amazon. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So you guys, I'm going to leave this kit in the description box below. I found it on Amazon, and you can create a an array of characters from the Marvel Universe. And this kit here is ready to make Spider-Man and Captain America. However, this book contains way more characters. So what you see here is pretty much what you are able to make in this book. So even though they only provide the materials to make 2 characters, you can go off on your own and get the yarn you need to create all these other Marvel characters. So needless to say, we are going to be doing a series creating all of these characters. Again, go check that link in the description box below so that you can go ahead and pick up your crochet kit. It comes with, again, yarn for both Spider-Man and Captain America. I've got the yarn that I'm going to be using today for Spider-Man. It does come with a 3.25 millimeter crochet needle, and it's made out of metal, so that's perfect. Like, normally they give you plastic ones, but those don't last, especially if you're a beginner. You tend to bend and warp the needle just by the tension of holding the needle. Over time, you gradually kind of get less tense doing the stitches, but metal ones are always good to start out with. It comes with the extra materials for detailing. For Spider-Man, we are going to be using the white felt to create the eyes. It comes with a legit needle, so be careful, you guys. I prefer plastic needles for crocheting because it's not that serious to be using metal, but this is metal, so be careful. You can poke yourself with it. It's also wrapped in black embroidery floss, and we're going to use this to do the detail work on Spider-Man. And then of course it comes with white floss for probably for Captain America, because I don't see anything here used with the white floss. And then of course I'm guessing that these plastic eyes are going to be for Captain America. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use them. Again, it is a choking hazard, so be careful with that. You don't want to use items that have choking hazardous items if you intend on giving this to a baby or toddler, so just be aware of that. So we're just going to cut to it. I took a glance of the instruction book, and I'm fairly impressed with how they have it. They pretty much explain almost everything with illustrations, so you really don't need me. But if you just like to follow along anyway, because it may be better creating these while somebody else is creating them as well, we can do that. Oh, and I forgot to forget, they give you this whole bar of stuffing. I can imagine this is worth more than just 2 characters. So hold on to this. If it's the stuffing that most kits have been using, this is going to be a nice soft plush stuffing that would be great to put in these. I have my own stuffing and it's very coarse. So let's get to this. We're not going to go into grave detail because there's so much in this book. It's very impressive. A lot of beginner books don't even show this. The Christmas kit I opened has you going on their website, which is fine. The dollar store kits kind of don't even explain what you're doing, really. It has illustrations, but it doesn't specify what it is you're doing. So if you were to apply that to, let's say, here, you wouldn't even know you were doing it if you're a beginner. So this book is fairly bound stiff, and of course, you guys, I need you to see this while I'm doing this, I wish I had a paperweight. Trying to think of what I can use as a paperweight. I do have my cracked Spiderman shot glass, so let's just do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna place my shot glass here so we can see what's up with this stuff. Get instructions. We're gonna start off with the legs. It tells you on this side what you need. I know it's cut off, but I did show you what we were using today. And then of course it has all this crochet hook, yarn needle, this and that. Now, if you've seen my previous crochet kits, I do ask you to take like a different color yarn so that we can mark off our rows. I don't want to use these yarns. I'm gonna go find some different color yarn for you guys. Hold on. Okay, so I actually have the needle from the other kits and it was already attached to this brown colored yarn. I'm just gonna use this. I'm not gonna pull out the real one because I don't want to have to like poke myself. Again, plastic needles are best for crocheting. Okay, so let's get this done. Make 2 legs. I'm going to do the second one off camera, and we're going to be using the red and making a magic ring and doing 7 single crochet stitches. Okay, so I guess the worst part here is trying to figure out how to unravel this stuff, right? Maybe... Now I have to find an end here. Okay. Well, this is not exactly how I like to have my yarn, but we're gonna make it work. Okay. Oh, see, it's like rolling everywhere. They do have contraptions, you guys, to kind of prevent this rolling about. Alright. So, with red, make a magic ring and do 7 single crochet stitches. So let me help you start this off. So let's do this for righties. I was used to doing lefties because I did a lefties series, but I'm going to do this for righties. I'll probably go back, comment below if you need it. I'm going to go back and do a lefties video for this. Okay, so what you want to do is for the magic ring, you want to wrap the yarn twice over your finger like that with a little bit of overage for you to put your middle finger on it. So now we have the 3 strands right here. We're going to take the needle and we're going to slide it underneath each of these 3 pieces, and then I'm going to drag it back out, but drag this piece under these 2. So hook it, pull it under those 2 pieces, then I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to pull that through the loop to close off this magic loop. And once you do that, you can let go and remove it off your finger. Okay. So now what we're going to do is do the 7 single crochet stitches in this magic loop. So let me show you how to do that. First we have to chain 1, and then we're going to do a single crochet stitch. So you're going to stick your hook into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Let me show you one more time. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and so now we have 2 single crochet stitches We just have to do this 5 more times, you guys. Okay. Before I move on to the next step of the magic loop, if you need to speed up or slow down this video, go ahead and click on the gear button on the corner of the screen. It'll have a playback option that you can either speed up or slow down, however you need it. If you do not need me to talk, you can always click on the closed captioning button, CC, and then lower the volume on your phone, and then we'll all be good to go. Okay, so let's just check back to see that we have 7 single crochet stitches on this ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to close off this magic loop. So what you're going to do is take this excess piece here. You want to hold down these stitches just lightly. And as we pull this piece, I'm going to see which one of these 2 loops goes in first. And once I see movement, I'm going to stop pulling. Okay, so this back piece here moved in. We need this guy in the front to disappear as well. Just pulling this all the way out may not always get this nice and clean, closed look. So just to make sure of that, the piece that did move, I'm going to pull this bottom side that we're holding out. So take that back loop, pull it, and you can see the front one closing in on itself. That's exactly what we need. Keep pulling it until it's totally disappeared into that magic loop, causing the hole to disappear. Once that is closed, you can now pull the excess piece here, and that back loop will also disappear. Okay. So now that is pulled, you can see that our magic loop is now closed. I'm going to count back 7 single crochet stitches, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slip it in. Make sure it's all nice and clean. Sometimes you might split a stitch in the yarn. I'm going to try showing you what I'm talking about. Like, let's say you get it in the middle here. See how it's not nice and clean? You want to undo that and then try to get it into both front and back loops nice and cleanly. Because in any event, if you need to unravel it for any reason, it's easier to unravel when you have clean work as opposed to splitting yarn. Okay, so to do a slip stitch, we have this into the 7 stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull through both loops or all loops, and so now we've just slip stitched this closed. Look how nice it is. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take my needle and we're going to put it into the last stitch that we made, front and back loops, as you see here. Then I'm going to hold on to one end and pull the other end all the way through, and this is going to mark off where we ended and began. So now we can move on to round 2. Okay, so round 2 has us doing it's funny, this one has, it's usually you see the number first and then you see SC, but single crochet stitches we're doing 2, and then we're going to do a bobble stitch, 2 of them in figure A. Ooh. Alright, before we do that, because to be honest, I don't know what a bobble stitch is. So let me go back here. I'm going to go back into this book And I'm going to try to find a bobble stitch. I really hope that they show what a bobble stitch is. Oh, thank goodness gracious. Okay. Okay, good. So it tells us what a bobble stitch is. So when we get there, alright, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, a bobble stitch, and then 3 single crochet stitches. Okay. So I'm going to chain 1 for the height. Okay, then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, so front and back loops, stick your hook in, 1, 2, and then we're going to do a bobble stitch. So we have to yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then repeat from first yarn over twice. Okay, so yarn over, insert the hook in that same stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we have to do this just one more time. So yarn over, pull into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now I have 4 loops left on my hook. Okay, inserting your hook in the same stitch. Okay, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on hook. So yarning over and pulling through all 4 loops, and that's my bobble stitch. So we have to create 2 of these. So we're going to yarn over again, insert the stitch into, the hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, and then we're going to yarn over into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, and one more time, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through all 4. Okay, so we have 2 bobbles. And then after that, we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Remove the marker. Okay, so now we're going to have 7 stitches. So we're going to count 7 and then do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, into that stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, and then we've done a slip stitch. Let's go and mark that off. Just did a whole series for lefties, you guys, and I'm so used to doing lefty, so it's a little awkward for me at the moment. Okay, so now that we've marked it off, you see how it's kind of like turning in. It's creating this little sack. You want to flip it inside out. We want the nice side to be on the outside. So just flip it inside out right now. And while we're here, we can always tuck in this end piece so that is out of the way. Okay. So now for rounds 3 and 4, we have to do 7 crochet stitches in each stitch. You see I hate how this yarn is, so that's probably one thing I would say about this kit. Some people will roll it up into a ball before they even start, but that takes so long for me. I just would rather deal with the mess than do it maybe the right way. I don't know. There's no real right way anyway. Okay, so for round 3, let's chain 1 for the height, and then we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, last one, pull out the marker, 7. So now I'm going to count back 7 and we're going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm going to mark this off. So then for round 4, we have to do 7 single crochet stitches again, and we're changing to blue. Oh, that's no fun. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to show you guys, I'm not going to keep cutting it every time we change. I'm going to leave the yarn on there. So that might get a bit complicated. This is probably more intermediate. Do the Dollar Tree ones first. Okay, so we're going to chain 1 and then we're going to do 7 crochet stitches. I'm going to stop at the 6th one because I have to figure out how I'm going to change it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I pulled through this excess piece. Just try to tuck that away. Try not to get it involved in your stitching. Okay, so here's the 6th one. Let's see, let's do the last one. I think I'm going to change it when we do a slip. So do your single crochet chain in your last one, pull out the marker. Now before we slip stitch this, pull this out here just so that you don't lose your loop. I'm going to introduce the blue stitch, the blue yarn, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to show you how to cast on your needle, the blue yarn, This is so bizarre. I've seen embroidery floss spooled this way, and I personally have never used it, but now that I don't like it. This is a nightmare. Okay. They should just make tiny balls. Like, I'm lost. I'm 100% lost with my yarn. Okay. And I get it. They like it to be nice and neat. It looks nice in the box, but I'd rather go for practicality and making it look neat. I lost my little piece here. Okay. Let's... It's a whole ton of confusion right now. Okay, so for this blue yarn, I'm going to cast on a chain. And how we do that is we hold the yarn like this with your thumb and your ring finger and pinky, or just your ring finger. And then you take your index and your middle and you hold out a distance, maybe an inch or two apart. So now we're going to take our hook and lie it perpendicular to the yarn. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down, out, and around to make this kind of loop. Now what we want to do is I'm going to just hold this with my middle finger here, drop the yarn. I want to grab some onto my finger, and I'm going to go back holding this end piece here. I want to slide it down towards that end piece just so I have the most minimal excess yarn possible. Okay, so then I'm going to pinch both of these together to create the loop, and then we're going to yarn over, pull it through the loop. Okay, now we have to tighten this up, but the way that I want to tighten it, pinch this end piece and push that yarn towards the end of that end piece, because again I want the most minimal amount of yarn wasted. Because as we've seen in the Dollar Tree kits, there wasn't enough yarn to finish the project. And I don't even know if I have these color yarns to finish this one if it runs out. But anyway, you want to pinch this knot here and slide it up towards the hook. Not all the way, just so that the hook has enough room to get out. Try not to lose that. We're going to set this aside. We're going to pick back up our leg that we were making. You stick your needle back in and you tighten up that loop. And we're going to count back 7 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stick your needle in. So before we do our slip stitch, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to slip on the blue one. Tighten it up a little, or don't tighten it up actually, because you want it to go through these loops, but you want the knot to stay back. That way it'll be nice and clean. So if you can help that, that would be best. So I'm going to pull this loop through all the loops, and there I have my transition. Now I have my blue. So this is very tiny, and I know you guys, like, you might not be able to have the best control, but just looking at these instructions, it seems like we're going to be doing some switching back from red to blue. Oh, actually, for the legs it's not. Alright, so let's strike that. Let's now secure this around the blue. So what I want you guys to do, just take maybe a couple of inches of this yarn. We're going to cut this, right? And I'm basically just going to tie this around the blue one. It's that simple. Don't tie it too tight because you don't want to like strain your blue on that, around that crochet needle. Just snug, a little loose. I'm going to tie it twice, and then I'm going to try tucking in with your finger or a needle, crochet hook, whatever, into that leg so that's long gone, hopefully. And this is the manufactured yarn that they give you is a lot skinnier than the regular yarn that most people buy in the store, so it's going to be tinier. So I've been spoiled using my own yarn for the last set of videos that I've done for the Dollar Tree kits. But anyway, okay, so now that we have that, we still have to mark off our last stitch. So that'll be this one here. Put the needle through and pull one side of the yarn all the way out. Okay, so for rounds 5 through 7, we have single crochet in each of the 7 stitches. I'm reading this so how it's written, but in other words, 7 single crochet stitches. So we have to do 3 rows of this. Okay, so like we've done, chain 1 for the height, then we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches. Remove the marker. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slip stitch. Okay. Then we have to mark this off. Oh gosh, where's my needle? Okay, here it is. Chain 1 for the height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pull out the marker, 7, now we're going to count back 7 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I don't know if they mentioned it all in the book because I didn't read it, so you might want to go ahead and do that. But see how the blue ran out? I don't know if they pre-cut it for you guys. If they did, I totally did really loose stitches and you have to do tighter ones because I don't have enough comfortably to finish the last row. And I see that there's several cuts here, which is disappointing. I really wish that they just did one continuous one. They probably did that so that you know if you're gonna have enough or not. Companies, man. I mean, you know. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna tie yarn, and it's probably not going to be the right length one. I don't know, but it is what it is, and I don't like knots in my projects. It happens and there's ways to hide it, but still, isn't that kind of annoying? Okay, so just tie the two together if that happens. Oops, it came out. So now I can show you actually. So cross them like this, and we're going to tie it like you tie a regular knot for like a package or something. Or alright, so now that we got that, we have to make sure you pull on each of the 4 ends without losing the knot, so just hold on to the knot while you pull each one. And if you want to make it cleaner, you can always just trim the excess pieces, which I don't like doing because, you know, it's prone to unravel. But anyway, alright, one more row, and then we're going to fasten this off. So, chain 1. Oh, I didn't mark my round, so let's do that now. And it's best to do that every single round because there are times where you're distracted and you will lose your spot in your stitch count. But as long as you mark off the last stitch of every round, you at least know where to start counting. Got that. Let's do our 7th round. So we chain 1, we do 7 single crochet stitches, 1, 2. Last stitch, pull out the marker. We're going to count back 7 stitches and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to fasten this off. I'm not too sure how much yarn we're going to need to sew this on, so I'm just going to go about here more or less. Hopefully it's enough. But yarn over, pull through the loop all the way out, and then we're going to tighten this up, and we have our first leg. And then again, you guys, so it says to stuff it after you're done making the legs. And again, I'm just going to do this off frame later, and then I'll go back and I'll show you how I stuff it. But you just have to gauge really how much you're using, because there is enough stuffing here, but it would be nice to have enough stuffing for all the characters. So all right, let's look ahead to the next body parts. So we have the body and the head next, and this is going to be 16 rounds. And then we have the arms and the eyes. So this is our first figure. I normally do parted videos because this video is long, but let's let's just do the body and the head now, and then part 2 we'll do the arms, the eyes, and then assemble. Yeah. Okay. So with the blue, oh, I gotta join legs now. All right, so let me do the legs, and then I'll come back in and we'll do the body and the head. Okay, so I have my 2 legs here because turns out the body and the head is joining the legs. So this shot glass. Okay, so I'm gonna take out my stuffing. It's sealed like this. I wish it was one of those peel off flaps so that you can close it back. So this isn't gonna be fun, but I'm gonna cut this end off, and then I'm going to grab as much stuffing as I think I need. And this is nice and fluffy. I don't know. I feel like let's start with half of this. And I'm going to push this into here. See what happens. I'm going to take my hook, the other end, not the hook end, so that you don't hook your stuffing by accident. I'm just going to push this down into the boot. Don't want to put too much, but yeah, it looks like I can put this piece in it too. I'm just putting enough to where I feel like it has some firmness, but not too firm. And you don't want to put too much to where you lose that boot shape. Okay, so I have one, and I'm going to grab another and just try to gauge the same amount. It's just difficult, period. And the same thing we did with the other leg, just force this in there 2 halves at a time, just so you can get the fill of the boot, and just squish it to make it nice and balanced in there, and then stick the second half in. Okay. Alright, so now we have 2 of our legs filled with the blue. We're going to join the legs. Let me get my messy wad of blue. This is what it's looking like right now. Okay. And join the legs, see page 15. So let's do that. Flip back the page. Okay. All dolls. Let's see. All dolls in this book are constructed the same way. The legs are made first from feet up, then joined to continue with the torso. Put the legs together and find the 2 innermost stitches that are touching. Okay. So let's put this side by side. Okay, 2 innermost. Insert your hook through these stitches. So let's say this one, and then this one. Okay. And pull through the specified yarn. So we're going to take this blue. Something tells me we're going to have to tuck these guys in. But yeah, take the blue. We're going to, like we do with the marking with the needle, just pull that other end out. And it's saying pull through these stitches and pull through the specified yarn. Tie a double knot to fix the legs together. So let's just do a double knot. Okay. Alright. Okay. So before we finish the rest of this, let me just tuck this in here. The excess pieces that will add to your stuffing. So hopefully you didn't overstuffed your legs. Yeah, we need to just tuck these away. I guess lesson learned. Look ahead to see if you need excess yarn. You never know if they're gonna say it though. I don't know. I guess it helps to read the book. Okay. And we're gonna tuck this side in. Okay. So we have to stick the hook back into the same stitches, and then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Okay. Insert your hook into the same stitches again and drop a loop, then chain 1. So then we have to chain 1. To crochet the first round of the body, turn the piece at the feet point away from you and start to crochet. First on the left leg, going around from rear to front, then continue around the right leg. Work a single crochet stitch in each stitch except the 2 that were used to tie the legs together. Okay. So just so that we know, even though you can kind of see it, but we have to crochet on 12 single crochet stitches, and because we took one away to bind the legs together, we have 6 stitches on each leg. So just make sure that when you're doing your 12 single crochet stitches, you obviously do 6 on each side, but just to make sure where we know we're ending, just mark off the last stitch like we do every single time Okay. Let's put the shot glass back on here. Okay. And let's do our 12 single crochet stitches all the way around. Two, three, four, I can't even see these stitches. I think that was 5 in there. Actually, 5. This is where that knot is from where we fastened it off. 5, 6. And then we're going to go to the other side. Just make sure you're seeing things right. So 1. Here's that knot. 2. 3. 4. 5. 'And then remove the marker. 6. Okay. And then it says we're changing to red. Yikes. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before when we switched out. Don't slip stitch yet. We're going to take this red. Let's pull some of this out here. We're going to cast on our red again. Thumb, ring finger, pinky, index, and middle, perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around. I'm going to hold this here while we get some yarn on this side. Now we're going to put the needle as close as we can to the end of that and pinch it. Run a yarn over, pull a loop. Then we're going to tighten this knot, but we're going to tighten it close to this end piece. So keep pushing this knot down until you can't push it down anymore. Then we're going to grab the knot and slide it a little bit close towards the hook. And then we're going to slide off the red. Go back to your blue, put your hook back into the loop and tighten it up a little bit. We're going to count back 12 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Put your hook into both front and back loops of that blue. Now we're going to slip on our red. Oops. And we're going to pull this red through all of those loops. Like this. Okay. Now I'm just going to try to jump to look ahead. I don't know if I want to cut this off and tie it off. So let's see if it ever changes back to blue. Wow. So it does change back to blue several times. So, oh my gosh, this is a lot of times. So I'm going to leave the blue on here. And I'm going to count, I'm going to do the next round. 3. Oh no, 2. Oh. No. All right. I jumped ahead. We're doing round 2, you guys. Oh, I apologize 1,000,000%. Again, this is my first time doing this. So, we still need to do round 2 in blue. Read the wrong thing. So, we're going to pull this red back out. No harm, no foul. Save this for the next round. Let's put the hook back in here. We're going to count 12 stitches and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let's just double check to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Did my slip. Let's mark off that last stitch. Kind of looks like Spiderman, right? Sorry guys, I jumped ahead. Alright, if that happens, just cut your yarn so that the fray is gone. Okay. Now it says increase stitch 5 single crochet stitches twice to make 14. So we're going to chain 1 like we always do. We're going to do an increase stitch. Now an increase stitch is basically doing 2 single crochet stitches in one of these stitches. So I'll walk you through it. Stick your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then put your hook back into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we're going to do 5 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're going to do an increasing stitch again. Let me walk you through it. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then again into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we're going to do the remaining stitches, single crochet stitches. I'm going to untangle this. Last stitch, pull out the marker. So now I'm going to count back 14 stitches, and then we're going to change to red. Now we get to change to red. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And again, rather than do the blue for the slip stitch, I'm going to slip on the red. And we're going to pull that through all the loops. And we're going to leave the blue on there because we are changing again. But I'm going to take my marker and mark the last stitch. So now we have to do a single crochet stitch in each of the 14 stitches. So chain 1, let's do 14. Last one, pull out the marker. See this knot here from before? It got out. If there's a way you can try to push that in to hide the knots. You want to try to hide the knots to the inside of your project. I don't think I'm going to be able to hide it right now. But yeah. Okay, so now we're going to count back 14 and do a slip stitch. Oh, but we got to change to the blue. So this should be easier because we already have the blue attached. Let's drop the red. Okay, we're going to pick up the blue. Let's count back 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Now yarn over and slip through. We're going to mark off. Okay. Oops. Try not to lose your hook. Okay. Okay, rounds 4 through 5. I know it says all this stuff here, but we're going to do it different because I've found this problem with all the other, doesn't matter what brand it is, all the other kits. I'm just going to mark off my last stitch while I'm talking. The pattern shifts, and I don't know what whoever's doing this is doing that I'm doing wrong. I still haven't fixed that for myself. Comment below if you can figure it out. But so I'm gonna kind of tell you guys to do it slightly different from what it is. Yeah, let me take a look at this. So we still have like 14 stitches to go for this. So in the blue we're gonna do well, let's chain one. Let's start there. Okay, I'm going to crawl this red alongside with my stitching so that when I switch, the yarn will be right there, and you'll understand what I'm talking about when we get there. But in the blue, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 stitches. So let's do that now. We chained one. Insert the hook into the next stitch. Line the excess red alongside the stitch that you just stuck the hook in. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, let me show you that again. Into the next stitch, we're going to align this excess piece with that stitch we just inserted the hook in. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time. Okay. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. We're going to do the 3 single crochet stitches. We're going to let go of the blue. We're going to grab the red and see what I said when we trail it along with our stitching. Now the red is ready, available, and right next to it. If we had not done that, it would have been stuck on the other side, and then you're just going to be pulling the yarn from the other side to put it here, and then it would be difficult to stuff. So let's grab some of the red. We're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. Again, we're going to line up our stitches with the excess blue here, like that. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Oh, I did it. Okay, let's undo this. I want this to be a red because it's going to muddle what I'm doing here. Sorry, guys. So pull out this blue, just like that, to have these 2 loops still there. Stick your hook back into that blue. Now we're going to use the red to yarn over and pull through those loops. So now we should have a clean blocking of red. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So now that we changed that, this is no longer blue. It looks nice and clean. So let's do this 2 more times. Into the next hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and 1 more single crochet stitch. Oh, and since we're turning into a blue, I remind myself, grab your blue. You want to yarn over and insert that into the 2 loops of red. Again, we get a nice clean color blocking here. And now we're going to, you don't have to trail this alongside because we're going to be keeping the red with this 3 here. As you see, it's just going to go up from here. So we want this nearby. So by itself, the blue into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and we're going to keep doing this all the way around till we get to that last stitch, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay. Then you're going to pull out the marker into the last stitch, yarn over there too. See how this end piece is? Oh man, that is bothering me so bad. I might be able to fix it now, but I feel like it won't. Like, all you really gotta do is tuck that knot in there. I don't know if it's gonna stay that way. It might change once we stuff it, but I can hide it again, or attempt to hide it again when we stuff. Okay, let's mark the last stitch of the round. Okay. So now we gotta do this 2 more times. And of course, the counting they have is, like I said, I just don't understand why it never looks the same. But because we already laid down the groundwork, we know that it's going to be blue up to here, red over here, and blue on the other side. So let's just go by that. Okay, so chain 1. Oh, did I do a slip stitch already? Oh, I didn't yet. How silly of me. Okay, let's do a slip stitch. Sorry, guys. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Yeah, it's all ready to go too. Try not to forget marking. Again, like I said, marking is the most important thing that you can do to kind of save you from getting lost in your project. Yikes.
Okay, we went through everybody. Who did it?
Okay. Now let's follow our color blocking here. Gonna chain 1. Looks like we're doing 2 single crochet stitches here. 1, 2. Now, I learned my lesson. Before we switch to the blue, we're going to pick up the red, and we're going to draw it through the 2 loops so that we have a nice clean color blocking here. And then I'm going to stick into the next stitch, align the blue with that red, and we're going to stitch around it. 1, 2, 3. Before we finish that, I just dropped my yarn. we're not going to be crocheting this into the blue, but yarn over with the blue, pull it through the loops, and I'm going to complete the rest with this blue all the way around.
Very impressive. I didn't. I climbed into a bomb-proof titanium chamber in the backseat. I think that. What better way to eliminate themselves? Yeah. But everything didn't go according to your plan, did it?
The guy had a stand on the case. Seconds before it cleaned everything.
And boom, the greedy ass enters the chest.
$70 million. A lot of money.
So she sent Amani over to hijack the hijackers.
Who?
Amani. Who?
The guy kid that counts it.
You know, do the rap.
Pull out the marker, last stitch,
And then she swoops in, steals the ransom money.
and we're going to count 14 and then do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. 14. Then we're going to do the marking of our last stitch in the round.
Gary and I met here 10 years ago when I was studying abroad, and Thomas said if we still loved each other and we haven't found anyone else, that we would meet halfway up the Eiffel Tower at midnight. Are any of you Gary?
Okay, so for round 6, we have the blue. Now, remember, I don't know why this gets all jacked up when I do it, but I'm gonna kind of do it this way in my video. And hopefully, if you do end up getting into the same situation as I am, at least you can take a look at this video and do it the same way I'm doing. Or if you can figure out a way to where you don't get the spiraled pattern and it works out fine, then comment below and let me know what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, so we're going to chain 1 as we do with every round. And I'm going to do a single crochet, okay, and then I'm going to switch to the red so that we make a nice clean transition, like so. Now we have to increase 3 single crochet stitches. Or 1, sorry. And I'm going to choose to do it in the red. So, to kind of match the photo we have. So we're going to do a single crochet stitch, align the blue with the red, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now this one's going to be the increasing stitch. So stick the hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We're going to stick the hook back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then another single crochet stitch. But we're not going to finish off in the red like we did. I'm going to switch it to the blue so we have a nice clean change to the blue. And then I'm going to do blue all the way around. Let me just double check to see if we have to walk over the yarn. So after this row 6 we have to change to the red, and it seems like it's going to be red from now on. I just want to make sure I don't see blue anywhere. Okay, so we are going to walk it around. We're going to walk it all the way around to the last stitch of this round. So line that up with the blue, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Oh, and my knot came out. Pulled it too hard. That happens to you, just re-knot it. It will be secure once you put it in these stitches, because they kind of act like knots. But yeah, this is why I don't know why they decided to cut these pieces. And then again, I have to cut off the excess, making it shorter. Okay, let's try not pulling on this one. But yeah, let's continue this all the way around. It's crazy because you don't know how much yarn you're gonna have left, so you want to work tightly just to make sure, from my experience with the Dollar Tree kits. But at the same time, you don't want to pull it too hard because you're gonna ruin the knots if you have any. I'm gonna try to stick that in the back. See how I hid that knot? Yeah, we're just gonna continue walking this all the way around. Last stitch, pull out the marker. Okay. Now we're going to count back 15 and do a slip stitch. But we're going to change to the red. And we get to cut this off because I don't think we're going to use the blue anymore. So count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So again, do not use the blue, use the red. Let's use the red like this. Okay, yarn over, pull through all loops. I'm gonna cut this off here. Okay, I'm gonna tie it around the red, loose but not too loose. Okay, tuck that inside. We're gonna mark off the last stitch. Okay. Then let me just check to see where we are in our video. I may need to break this up now because we still have rows 7 through 16 left to do. So that's, 9 more rows. And I don't know if this video is going to be more than 2 hours. My editor doesn't allow me to edit any videos over 2 hours. So let's see what happens. Okay, you guys, so we're nearing maybe an hour and 50 minutes. Let's cut this off here. we're going to continue again in our part 2 video. It is going to get more exciting because in round 7 we're going to introduce the invisible decrease stitch, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So that's going to take some time. I don't want to go 2 hours with this video. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And join me again, like I said, for part 2, where we're going to be continuing doing Spider-Man. I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.